Welcome to Nine Dimes Project. It's the Nine Dimes Project channel, and over the past 22 weeks, we've gone over several topics to keep you informed about how to build wealth. So, I don't know what it is about this system that doesn't really teach you directly how to build wealth, at least in my part of the world. But our mission here is to educate, hopefully entertain on how to build wealth. Okay, past 22 weeks, it's been a lot. Hope you learned some things. But it's a recap now. So let's begin. Some of the things we've gone over is one of my favorite tools is the 50-20-30 rule. But let's go. Let's start from our first series and go all the way to today. Let's check some settings. All right, we're good to go. So the first series was the Money Mindset Foundation. And your mindset is going to determine your results, what you get out of this life and all. And we went over the scarcity versus abundance thinking. And it's real easy to have the scarcity thinking because you think there's just not enough. But when you switch over to the abundance thinking, then that's where you make the gains. All right, so we went over saving your first $1,000 in 90 days, which is $83 a week, and the 50-20-30 rule, budget rule, and that is to build wealth. So you can write down your money story if you haven't already and set 3 SMART goals. That was series 1. All right, moving on to series 2. It's multiple income streams. You have a money personality, you're a spender, a saver, an investor, or a giver. And in a lot of cases, you want to be a combination of 2 or 3 of them to get the maximum result. All right, the next topic was your job. It's going to cap your wealth even if you're a high earner. And you need multiple income streams. Even if you're a high earner in one, like if you're a high earner at your job, you're going to need multiple income streams, especially if you have a family. And then we went over how you can make $100 this week with the skills you have And this is $100 outside of what you normally do. And so the action there is to start one side business, even if it's just for $100 a month. Okay, moving on to Series 3, Smart Banking. Went over how your traditional bank is robbing you when they're only paying you like 0.01% interest. And so then you want to switch to high yield savings, where you should be getting a minimum of 3.5%, when on average you're getting 4 or 5% interest. Then we went over how inflation is eating your savings at an average of 3% per year. And then we went over saving $5,000 in 6 months. And so the action there's to open a high yield savings account. Okay, Series 4 is the emergency fund blueprint. And we went over how budgeting apps might be failing because they're reactive and not proactive. And then making monthly money dates work, and just taking about an hour per month to check things out. Then I have $1,000 starter fund for your emergency, and really you need 3 to 6 months expenses. So $1,000 to start, and then roll that into really preferably a minimum of 12 months. And then you have savings challenges, and creating those savings challenges will make it fun, especially at the end of it when you got more money. So the action there is to calculate your emergency fund number and start the savings challenge. Series 5, we went over the credit score, and that was the credit score mastery series. So credit scores are a game, and you can win. 35% of your credit score is your payment history. So it's pay on time, and can build credit with an authorized user or a secured card. And a secured card is like it's you're putting money on the card, and the credit card company holds it. And if you spend on it, your main thing is just want to pay it on time. And then more about credit cards. Is there a tool or a weapon? Depends on how you use it. And pay in full every month, or don't use them at all. And the action for that series is checking your credit score and start building if you need it. Okay, Series 6 is Debt Intelligence. How good debt builds wealth, and student loans, depending on how you use it could be good. In a lot of cases, they're not so good because the ROI on them isn't good. And also, it's getting much more difficult to even find work. Even with a good training at your college as far as what type of degree you have. All right, and then we went over escaping debt with the snowball or the avalanche method. And then avoiding predatory traps like payday loans. Payday loans are like 400% APR, and it will end you. So the action was, if you have debt, choose the snowball or the avalanche. Doesn't matter which you choose. It just depends on which one you think will work best for your psychology. Okay, next, Series 7. Investing for beginners. So saving preserves wealth, but investing creates wealth. Went over the Roth IRA and how it's a tax-free growth forever. And then went over how $100 a month from age 18 can net you $1.2 million by age 65. Of course, we want to cut that time in half. To reach millionaire status. So in more videos and in later videos, we're going to go over how to do that. All right. And then invest in a target date or the S&P 500 index. And then we went over financial independence. It's your investments covering your living expenses. And if you're covering your living expenses with just what you've invested in, then you've reached financial independence. So the action was to open a Roth IRA and then set up an automatic $100 per month contribution or more if you can swing it. All right, and Series 8 so far is your wealth plan. In the first video of Series 8, went over how you can build wealth with just $40,000. A $40,000 salary. So because you set up a system to do so, and the 50-20-30 rule, always save a minimum of 20%, but you want to go 30%. Because 20% is just things you want. 20% per month, 20% of what you make per month. But you got to do 30% if you want to create. And this is part of being a millionaire by age 35. So action was apply this to your income now and then adjust as you need. All right, so that's it. That was the first 22 weeks And do a quick summary is fix your mindset, save $1,000 in 90 days, build your budget, start a side business, switch your banking from regular to a high yield, build an emergency fund, build your credit, avoid or escape debt, open a Roth IRA, and invest consistently in your reach financial independence. All right, so don't forget our free tools, links in the description. My favorite is the Wealth Builder Calculator. And we also have we've got more budgeting tools. We've got the 30-day money challenge. And that's it. And if you're an educator and you want to teach finance, or if you're a youth leader, you can visit 9dimesproject.com, and we have a system set up to teach for you. Instead of creating it yourself, it's already set up. All right, so next week, going to do a 1-year action plan for your financial freedom. And then we'll be off to the races. But it won't be over yet, because we'll still be here week after week. If nothing stands in our way. Okay, we'll see you next week. Peace. Love you.